I think Bank is going to be an interesting one. That's going to be... I don't think we'll actually see Bank, if that's a bold predicament, just because...
You really think Barrage are going to 2-0?
I like what you're doing there. That's a good one. But no, that's going to be us going into Border. I think that Border especially should be in favor of Vexed, just simply because it's more of that aggressive run and gun style. I know Barrage have played this hefty amount of times. This is one of their stronger maps. But on that attack rounds, I still feel that they play too slow compared to kind of the run and gun that Vexed have.
Yeah, it can be very run and gun playstyle from Vex, but as I said, it very much depends on their roster, where they go. Feral has been the sort of glue that can hold that team together. He's, he's the ideal, as you said. He can move around the roster to what they want to do. So there are op bans for today. It's going to be Lion, Glaz, Pulse, and the Maestro. Not too surprised by those operator bans, although kind of surprised that Mirror and Echo made it through this. Maybe not so much Mirror here. Yeah,
Mirror's been, I think a lot of teams would like the Mirror. I don't think it's that much of an issue with the way that teams play. You have your buck available, you have those bucks from below. Very, very strong, and get rid of a lot of those Mirror windows. It's very simple to get rid of the one on the armory wall. Simply go just through front door, buck up. Easiest kill of your life, sometimes. You may be thinking, okay, maybe fighting's a little bit harder. You just fetch your grenade, you get rid of ADS, and you need over the top of it. It's really simple to get rid of the Mirror windows, which Vex they will be bringing, but it will not be that top floor. It will instead be the ventilation room and workshop, so more of the secondary pick bomb site that we're used to seeing.
Really interesting that the Jaeger's not being brought here from Feral, in case he is actually going to be 6-picking onto the castle, and with Zekiza is going to 6-pick from the Capital onto the IQ. IQ is pretty good to bring here, of course, with Echo being on the board, with Legion being on the board here potentially as well. I would definitely expect to see an Echo every single round.
Yeah, that's why I think the IQ is being brought as well.
Yeah.
Because like you said, really great utility that you bring, get rid of not just the Echo drones, but goo mines, which can be very pesky. Probably one of the most annoying gadgets in the game, and especially if if you're like a shield operator, that's a living nightmare for you, because hold on a minute, I'm a blitz, I can't sprint anymore, and I'm getting ticked. They know the sound cue. It's going to be pretty rough from that spot. But let's head in, and it will of course be that mid floor, and it will be this top heavy that they're going to start putting these reinforcements in. And quite interestingly, they're actually going to extend in the fountain rather than just staying locked inside of armory.
Yeah, it's interesting as well with the castle placements from Feral here, where he put one onto the bathroom door, which is pretty common, right, for a default strat. But then he also put one on the waiting room door, and he's put one on the metal door there. So
that's probably the most common one.
Yeah, that's definitely a common one, but this waiting room castle door, normally only ever see it if there's reinforcements going down in customs as well. Maybe the team want to do a bit of a customs hold as well. I mean, that is also suggesting a very top-heavy, as you said, with loads of reinforcements, lots of utility commit to that top floor area. This is going to be a very top-heavy defense from Vex. I mean, this can go a little bit back and forth, but with the Mirror being in play, this is definitely going to make it a lot easier.
Jinx style has been one of the saving graces for Barrage. Last week it was his debut, and to be fair, he single-handedly got that draw and got that win for Barrage. A really strong fragger. That's kind of what you're expecting from these Ashe mains, is for them to get these massive clutch kills whenever they need to. They open up a quick 2k, really puts Barrage at a big advantage. Can he recreate that against Vex, who, of course, are going to be a stronger team than Horizon? Already, they're going to start and try and push in, not just from security, but also in towards that east side. Mirror window is going to slow them down just that little bit more. They don't have a banner, which is always going to be a bit of a worrisome for me, especially whenever Mirror's being let through. You would expect, bring both hard breachers, not just because Thermite's great at opening up these walls, but simply just because X-Kyroses are fantastic for getting rid of those Mirror windows.
The big thing that doesn't seem to be being noticed by Barrage yet is that Vex have not brought the Jaeger here. So there could be some pretty lethal grenades coming out here from the book. And that could definitely push things into the favor of Barrage if they get a nice nade, say, onto an Echo or a Mirror, or even the Bandit here. Like, Pi is holding down this armory wall. He's doing very well. With Jinx Style has actually managed to make his way all the way almost into the site already. This is incredible from him.
Bomb located by attackers.
Nope.
And as I say it,
Caster's Curse. You need to learn this in this show, that we do have a Caster's Curse. I think that X-Kroika learned that out quite a bit last week whenever he was here. But, like I said, Barrage, they've started to gear up. They still have to get rid of that Mirror window, and you're kind of expecting to see a frag grenade being put out there, like you said, the Jaeger not being prevalent. If only there was, you know, some kind of operator that could send these kind of explosive devices to push people away from mirror windows. But I'm sure we'll probably see that in the near future. But quick kill from Jesus as he plays aggressive with the Echo, eliminates Boogie. Thermite going down, so no more of that hard breach available. Shady there inside of break room also gets lit up by the Echo, and Jesus runs out with the pistol. Doesn't even use the bearing. The P229 will be his choice of deadly weapon. Shady still on that very weak health, and Kizza on full, but really at this stage, what can they do? It's more or less going to be impactless kills from Barrage if they can do anything. Vexed holding very strong. Feral having the gunfight with Kizza, who does come on top inside of that gunfight. But really, for how long can he stay alive? Not very. 10 seconds on the clock. Shady's outside, trying to rotate in, and I don't even think he can even get into the bombs out at this stage. So yeah, very easy round for Vexed. No real punishment coming in from Barrage, and quick cleanup kills from Zach and Vexed alike, and Shady not enough time to do anything in a very, very comfortable round for Vexed.
Not a single refrag coming out from Barrage there. I mean, yeah, as we said, Vexed tend to play fairly aggressively. They try to realize that they do have superior gun skill. Unfortunately, Pi is going to leave the game. Hopefully don't have a rehost here, because that would...
I can see a rehost. I would imagine so. If they're not taking a rehost, questionable.
Questionable. Maybe they realize they don't need Pi.
And I think they do. It's playoff spots for LAN.
It is playoff.
You know,
yeah,
Doki wants that LAN spot, you know.
Yeah.
So does Feral. Feral, he's never played at a LAN. He's only just he's just been standing in the background of LANs, really. That's all he's done.
Standing in the backgrounds, yeah, standing in the crowd. But it looks like we are going to have a rehost. Should be back in just a few moments. But just having a look at that round as well, just the very, very top-heavy defense. The big problem with that is that if they push quickly onto the site, if there are things like Yings and Candels going down, there's a lot of utility going down in smokes, there's not really a lot that the defenders can do to try and rotate quick enough to deal with a plant going down quick enough. And then if that plant does go down successfully, it's kind of all over you at that point. And Jinxstyle actually made really good progress getting into the site that quickly, but clearly not good enough from him. There's clearly great intel coming out there from Vex to be able to spot him out getting in. And you made that point about, you know, Ashe getting in there. You really need to get the kills if you're playing on Ashe, right? And that's definitely true. That you normally see the Zofia over the Ashe, because in comp you play for utility, you don't really play for frags. But if you are playing the Ashe over the Zofia, you need to get those kills. Jinxstyle did a great job with it last time. This time it looks like Vexed aren't going to let him get with it.
It's not really so much that, yeah, he got on the bomb site. Nobody was there with him to get those refrag kills, and that's something that you did point out. They're not getting those responses, and that's one thing which I've always pushed. If you're a team and you're trying to play this aggressive playstyle, and you're getting picked off, someone needs to be straight in there, getting the refrag, keep the numbers advantage on your level grounds, or not an advantage if you can do that as well. So yeah, Barrage, who have been known for playing that very slow playstyle, they're going to need to adapt real quick, because Vexed, they've probably looked at say, oh yeah, Barrage, one of the slowest played attacking teams, bit like the way Team Vitality plays inside a Pro League. Sure, Barrage had a good run the first 2 weeks where they got those draws, but then teams have realized, oh yeah, we know how they play. And they can't do anything from that. Same way Vitality had a great run in the first half of Pro League. Second half, what happened?
They just fell off because people knew how they played. You know, if you play aggressively into that, they run out of utility very, very quickly.
Echo, aggressive, for example. Yeah,
I mean, Echo shouldn't really be playing that aggressively outside of offices, but if you can win the fight, you win the fight, right?
This is Vexed.
Yeah, this is
Vexed. This is the team where they will just go, oh, I'm going to see if I can peek. Everything you should not do in Siege, they're doing it, and it's paying off for them. And of course, they are always going to be that riskier team. We've said that about them, not just here in the playoffs, but every single week. Vexed have always been, you know, the monkeys of the Premiership, always just trying wild stuff. You know, spawn peaks, I would say, very early on from Vexed. The first round of them playing Prem, spawn peak.
Yeah.
Straight off.
That can work very, very well against teams like Barrage, who potentially unprepared for that kind of thing. And, you know, there are a lot of comp teams who play very, very slowly. As you mentioned, Vitality are definitely one of those. But there's not necessarily anything wrong with
not a Pro League team anymore now.
Yeah, sure. We're a Pro League team.
Look at this guy just firing all the shots to Vitality
all the way
fans.
out of it.
Unbelievable.
But, yeah, I mean, there was just not enough intel on what the hold was going on. You know, the IGL should be really calling what they should be doing at that point. If they see it's a top-heavy hold, okay, realize you have grenades. There's no Jaeger on the other side. You should know that by now. You could go to the very top of offices and you could nade him out of Fountain. You can nade him out of Canadian. There's so many nade spots from that little skylight right above the offices area, and there was just none of that at all. And on top of that, Barrage, we're not playing for refrags at all, and I'm kind of expecting a team that play very, very slow, especially if they know what kind of team that they're against. They would be playing for trades, but there we go. The poll coming in, and lots of people claiming that Vexed will indeed win this match. 73% in their favor. I don't suppose that's
expected.
Yeah, that's expected, right?
It is still live, guys. You know, you guys can go ahead and give your thoughts on what you've already seen after the first round, and of course what we've had our opinions on. If you want to go ahead and vote, make sure you check out esl.im/r6s vote. Of course, just check out the Twitter and you will find it there as well. So yeah, really get involved with the community. Of course, there's also one going on for guidance and unnamed, so make sure you go over and check that out. And we'll see really how that one goes, because it is certainly one that is up in the air at the moment. Up in the air at the moment as well is, where is the Vexed player? Currently, it was Pi, had a PC. A PC just completely died on him. We should get him back as quickly as we can. Or will we see the Nut boy come?
Potentially.
Will it be called?
Potentially. Maybe Pi, oh no, I broke my computer, and then Pengu has to come right at that point.
He could have just played anyway.
Yeah, he could have just played, yeah.
Is there really a difference? Like, you know, he's on the roster. It's not as if, oh yeah, emergency sub. Pengu's played a couple of weeks. He's played 2 weeks in total. And whenever he did play, yes, you can see the skill difference between him and everybody else inside of Premiership. But as it stands, still 1-0 in favour of Vex. That is them only starting on their defense. They still have plenty more rounds to go yet if they want to try and secure that playoff spot and secure that final spot from the playoffs and get themselves to LAN inside of the Premiership finals live at Leicester on Saturday, the 8th of December. And well done to the community. We actually sold out in 2 days, which is very good.
Yeah, insane. Just selling out in 2 days. Hopefully, maybe some more tickets will go on sale at some point.
I don't know how we're going to pack any more people inside that garage.
Maybe it's like, you know, people sit on each other's laps or something like that, you know. Something could happen there.
Do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say we could just probably do it outside. Just get, you know,
get a barbecue
massive
going.
Screen outside. Barbecue in winter.
Yeah.
Questionable.
I mean, you know, get all toasty outside the fire.
They could, yeah. Just like an apocalypse, where they're like standing over the barrel, and it's like all those guys, the Russian guys, just standing there.
Maybe not the medium I quite would have drawn from that, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's just what I see in movies.
Yeah,
that's really it. So, but yeah, I think that finals will certainly be great. We already know that Secret and M&M are going to be there, so I say they're probably going to be prepping. I don't think Secret will. They're probably prepping for something else.
Well, don't forget as well that Secret at the moment, they're trying to prep for the next season of Pro League, but the meta's still quite in the air with the new operators coming in, and you can't play custom games quite yet on the test server, so they're kind of, a lot of the pro teams, a lot of the comp teams are kind of left up in the air about what to do with practice for next season and how to develop new strategies going in.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. We still have 2 more weeks to go off the TTS, and of course that is live for you guys as well if you want to go and check out all of the new operators, Nomad and Kayed. I think that's how Milos is doing it, or it's like, I think that's how he said it.
Or something like that.
Or you could just say Cade if you're, you know,
Cade.
Western European and you just want to,
if you're British,
don't want to deal all that Moroccanness. But guys, we also do have our giveaway for Logitech. It's not really more of a giveaway, it's more of a sale that we do have going on, of course, in conjunction with Logitech, one of our main sponsors here for the ESL Premiership. You can get exclusive Premiership deals on selected products, up to 20% off as well. So make sure you go over and check out Logitech, and only while the Premiership is live as well. So yeah, we only have another, what, 3 hours, 4 hours of the show max. So make sure, yeah, you go over and get all of your good stuff. Christmas is coming soon, so you can get all of your goodies for all of your families and friends. If you have any friends, or if you're like me and don't have anybody, then sure.
Yeah. I mean, you know, people could buy stuff for you, you know? You
could, yes, buy stuff for me. Hit me up in the DMs. I'll take anything you want. Anything you want me to have, I'll do it.
Anything, really. That's
wrong
a bold statement.
Anything gaming related. Again, probably another bold statement. I'm not giving no carries to diamonds. Like, I'm not saying that's on the table.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would want me to carry them to diamonds. Probably couldn't.
Well, I mean, you are diamond yourself, right? So, potentially.
We could do. So, we still, you know, waiting here quite longly. This has actually been one of the longest ones I think we've had. But of course, we'll get back in as quick as we can. Just trying to think of topics. I always know what a good topic. what about our community cups that we have going on?
Yeah, the community cups that do happen on ESL site, Xbox and PC. That is great grassroots tournament, right?
Xbox.
I have actually played quite a few community cups myself back in the day, back in year 1. It's a great way to just get involved in comp.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, back with Jaeger ACOG and that all kind of thing.
Don't
Back
scare me
when
like that,
House
please.
and Plane used to be in the comp pool as well.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Love a metal tube.
Yeah, and don't forget, comp cups actually don't have any age restriction as well. So if you're underage and you're thinking, oh, I can't play in Go4, I can't play in Pro League just yet, then community cups is a great way to get involved.
Yeah, so, of course, Community Cup's always an option if you guys want to get to where Vexed and Barrage are at inside of their playing careers. And, of course, that is a playoff spot, potentially, that they could get for the LAN. Ventilation Room and Workshop is where Vex will pick it up, and, not mistaken, that should be locked out for them.
Yeah, it should be locked out for them.
That should be locked out for them. I think we might have a bit of an issue there. We may need to go in for a rehost. So I think we might have to go back to our lovely faces, because that should be locked out for them from the objective rotation parameter. Yeah, so we'll get back into it. That's just a little minor thing. We should be back in about 2 minutes. Shouldn't take that long. I think that our great observer, who I have praised so much, and now I look like an idiot because he had one job. One job.
Yeah, I mean, if you notice actually from observation from previous weeks, like I was watching, that Will comment the observer is very good at this, at looking at the prep phase. And
Please don't boost his ego
right?
any more than it
that
needs
he's
to be.
the best observer about that, and he deserves to have his ego boosted for it.
The only reason why he's here because he owns Freddy the dog. That's
Right,
the
yeah,
only
yeah,
reason
sorry.
why.
Well, that's another great
I
addition.
apologize, guys. Freddy isn't here. I apologize. He's still getting back from Brazil.
Yeah.
That's where he's invited to. But don't worry, he should. I hope he makes the appearance for finals, because who knows, guys? We could do some nice Freddy signings, Freddy photos. I'm sure that people would love that with Freddy forecast. We'll get a nice green screen. We'll get him predicting all the matches.
Get him on the analyst desk.
Absolutely brilliant.
Definitely. Should be good indeed. Let's talk a little bit more about Border, though, and going in through these rounds. I mean, we looked at the pulse ban, right? And when we normally see a pulse ban, that's normally very kind of team heavy, right? We see Vex do play very Roma heavy sometimes, and the pulse definitely supports that, right?
Yeah, you can definitely see Pulse being one of those bigger operators, has that destructibility. With the Nitro Cell, Cardiac Scanner, always going to be a great utility tool for those defenders. I think this is something that Barrage have started to pick up on, because their kind of playstyle, very slow, very methodic. They want to try and get that plant down as much as they can. If there's a pulse there, that completely just runs into the ground of their strategy that they're trying to do. So getting rid of that denial, yes, fully agree with that. But then again, you're leaving operators there like your Echo, like your Maestro possibly as well. You know, what else? You got Elemines as well, Goo Mines, all that kind of stuff that can really disrupt the plant. And that's where I kind of fear for Barrage in their playstyle sometimes.
I mean, the big replacement, obviously, for Pulse is Valkyrie here, especially if there's an Armory Locker's defense.
But then they bring IQ as well, though.
Yeah, you can do that, but I'm more talking about that there can be an Echo Drone just sat at the very back of the half wall, something you can't really shoot.
The Leon spot?
Yeah, the Leon spot, exactly. You can't really get an angle on from the Armory door, and it can get perfect intel onto you just by jumping up and down, and then Valkyrie's still underneath. She's still got that Nitro Cell. She's still posing a huge threat. So there can be a lot of that. Not only on top of that, it forces a roam clear, right? Because you know there's a Nitro downstairs, you know that you need to get rid of her. It forces a roam clear, and you can waste a lot of time doing that.
To be fair, it is a map like Border, which it's not an overly big map that we've seen plenty of times, and whenever we know that Barrage, they bring that Buck proficiently, then yeah, Buck makes very quick work of getting in towards that ventilation room, and Workshop does all that good stuff. Valkyrie really shouldn't be too much of an issue, I would say, for Barrage, and thankfully we have got that all fixed. Ventilation room and Workshop is now locked for those defenders, and we will be moving into a customs inspections and supply room. So customs defense coming out, not the top floor, not the armory, going for a customs. I'd imagine probably to try and throw off these players of Barrage.
Yeah, and customs can be a bit of a weird one, but with a mirror and a castle, this is very, very holdable, honestly, for Vex. They can do a lot with this right now. I think they're going to reinforce all of the customs walls to Passport, reinforce attention where Pi is, but most of this defense is going to be concentrated upstairs, with, I expect, both castles going down, maybe even all 3 castles going down, as well as 2 mirror windows.
So looking at customs, it's going to be very, very top heavy for the defenders. You need to try and deny that excess as much as you can. Do you think Barrage are kind of that playstyle where, yeah, they're going to try and push out these roamers as much as they can, or will they fall in that same trap that we've seen from them in previous weeks of trying to rush in through those quad walls?
5 seconds left.
I think they're just going to be playing this fairly safe upstairs, just, you know, concentrating on the utility usage there. I mean, even though we saw very aggressive movement coming out from the Echo of the officers last round, he was still playing that position, he was still holding it down. They're still concentrating on, okay, yeah, we can be aggressive, we can get the frags, but we still need to hold the upstairs, we can't overextend, and that's exactly the work we're doing.
So, looking at it, just more preparation coming in from Vexed. They're bringing the castle barricade, so of course that's going to give them a lot more of that protectability factor. It really shuts down these kind of angles that potentially Jinx Dial may want to play, or Kiza. Whoa, great shot from Jinx Dial already, getting a nice kill, opening frag onto Zach. Does go for that quick peek. Still a mirror window that, of course, Jinx has to contend with, but mirror off the board, C4 off the board more importantly, and just a general man down from Vex has already set them up pretty nicely. Barrage now working their way in for the east stairs. That's going to be primarily one person situated there the entire time, just for flank coverage, because you really need that on a map like Border.
Yeah, this is much quicker from Barrage. Already that Jinx style getting that early kill. I think a lot of that came down to as well the fact that there just wasn't a quick setup coming out at all, coming out from Vex. They were so late getting that armory wall mirrored down, and this has already allowed Barrage to open up detention, to open up passport as well, and they have a lot of contesting of that upstairs control.
So, still plenty more roamers to contend with. They've only found one, they still have to find 4 more, or potentially try and sneak in a plant, which I don't really see that happening. Of course, that hatch control will stop everything indefinitely, but certainly if Barrage can try and get Randy and get those couple of frag grenades chucked in. This time they do have the Jaeger on their lineup, so that will, the ADSs will slow them down just that little bit more. Jinx trying to take the fights in and around towards that office area. Randy sees Feral. Great shot onto the castle. Randy another one potentially, as Pi trying to get a little bit frisky, and that will be the drop, so that upstairs control will be forfeited. Pi actually still upstairs. It was Doki who did drop down, and Jinx Doll trying to push his way in towards that north side, trying to see if he can find anybody still on the hatches. As not, Pi will be right above him at this scenario. Jinx trying to find anything he can, but no, players of Vex still holding strong, leading into the final 30 seconds.
Yeah, Barrage still very spread out here, but looking towards, getting towards the site. Jesus and Doki both get kills of their own. Jesus still trying to deal with everyone outside of Passport, but finally gets taken down by Kiza. That's turned it into a 2v3 situation down to the GSG9 operators. Pi will manage to rotate. There's no upstairs control from Barrage just yet. Doki will try and rotate through the front door, sees Jinx down, will get taken down by him. Now it's a 1v3, all down to Pi. He can't deny the plant, doesn't have the Nitro Cell, doesn't know where they are though, but they will start to rotate out. The diffuser does go down. We're in a post-plant situation now, but Pi with a beautiful shot does get Boogie. We'll see if he can find 2 more. We've still got Jinx down, we've got Kiza on the board, and they still have the angles from 2 different sides. Drones will go out from Kiza to try and get the drone straight onto the diffuser. But Pi just goes for the run out. He sees the feetsies, but he can't find him. Kiza will take it down with a headshot, and Barrage Esports will take round number 2.
Fairly standard from Barrage. They did what they needed to do. They managed to take control of east stairs, of course, the more known flank coverage, and it's really for this kind of play that they're trying to go for. They are not looking to try and take that full upstairs control. They know it's going to be too much utility, too many angles that defenders can run out of them on. They're trying to hold as much as they can. They have the sight lines, and then they just cover with the plant. They had great pressure coming in from Randy upstairs as the buck. It disabled players there like Feral trying to peek that hatch, a very easy angle outside of that south balcony. Fairly simple for them. So yeah, looking at it, Barrage, they do have a very big round. That's going to be massive, especially whenever that Armory Lockers and Archives is going to come out next, which is going to be that more primary bomb site for a lot of defenders. And of course, for Barrage, you're kind of looking at it and thinking, yeah, this is a lot better. I still think that they could still squeeze out a little bit of issues, especially with kind of Jinx playing that kind of lone roamer. I would like him working with Randy a lot more as that kind of, you know, fragging potential. That duo does a lot of work, both of those operators. High fragging potential, has flashbangs and nades, which are very good at clearing out any roamers. That's the only thing I can really see that Barrage kind of lackluster themselves there. But still, at the same time, I thought it was good flank rotation and good flank coverage from Jinx just there in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, he was just straight on he knew there was still someone in armory lockers. Pi was still around that area. He was watching the drop. He's watching the front door as well to watch for any rotates coming out. They had detention open. They had passport open. They achieved all of their round objectives there, what Barrage went for. I still would have liked to see maybe Ying coming out from them, and as you say, Jinx playing together maybe with someone else as well. Not just because there's a lot of frag potential there, but there's also trade potential, especially when you're playing against a team like Vexed, where they play super aggro, they peek almost everything to try and get those kills. If you lose the gunfight, you haven't gained anything from it. But if you lose the gunfight and you're playing next to someone, then you get a trade out of it and you still keep the scoreboard even.
So, it will be Vex going upstairs for their third pick bomb site. The only one which they haven't went for as of yet is the bathroom teller, which still could make an appearance going into these next couple of rounds as well. Looking at the setup from Vexed, it's seeming pretty standard. Mirror windows in the ideal locations, one on fountain, one at the double wall. I'm sure that Jinx will probably try and take the fight and get rid of that first mirror window, which, like we've talked about in the pre-match, very simple for a lot of these soft destruction operators to get rid of those mirror windows, potentially even get a kill if it calls for it. Doki, who we know is so aggressive, tries his hand, gets down, but of course because he is a dot, can easily stim himself right back up. Randy also there, he can maybe try and rotate himself downstairs, try and get into a better position, use that skeleton key of course to start really destroying the majority of the flooring. But look at this, Vexed have opened up a couple of sightlines for themselves and are going to try and deny the access from anybody wanting to play from below. Very risky strategy of course. Looking at it, you can just shoot right back at the defender if he is there. But still nothing, no kills on the board as of yet. Barrage just trying to work their way in, figure out where they want to go, and I'm sure momentarily we will see the push come in from Barrage very rapidly.
Despite the fact that they have brought a book, they haven't even tried to take control of the downstairs at all. This Randy is not opening up any vertical control to try and get those mirrors off the board. They're not really doing anything with that book right now. But don't forget, again, from Vex, there is no Jaeger on the board, so Rennie should be able to score a nice frag grenade kill here. Will waste one of them, however, to try and get some utility off the board. But just putting it into the fountain area and not getting a kill, there's so much potential here for a kill and quick control of fountain.
I don't know why he's not just going for a frag grenade kill right over the top of it. You can bounce your way on part of the wall and try and get the kill that way. Kiza will eliminate Doki. Of course, that quick aggressive ACOG peek from the dock will prove to be nothing really Barrage have to worry about. Randy will try and get a drone sent in to see if anybody's lurking inside a fountain, and of course that will be the correct play. If they manage to spot out Jesus, and especially an Echo in this location, that's going to be devastating for the defenders if he does fall. You know, you may be questioning why is he there in that scenario. We've seen him play very aggressive. He has the great gun skill, he has the ACOG, can challenge these long angles, but in these close range scenarios will not be the case. Boogie does find Jesus, eliminates him, and he can easily open up the wall. Nothing really to stop him. A potential C4 coming in from the Bandit. Shady double kill from that Mark 17. Feral, however, does eliminate the Ash and stuck inside of a 1 versus 4, and that's probably the worst thing that could happen is your phone getting called out. An easy kill for Randy, as that will be another round going in favor of Barrage. Excellent teamwork. This is what we like to see more from Barrage.
So aggressive from Vex right in the area, then there was no plant going down. They still had huge amounts of plant denial. The Echo should have gotten out of Fountain as quickly as possible after those 2 initial frag grenades went down and after that thermite charge started to go down. So not really sure about the strategy coming out from Vex so far, but Barrage with 2 well-deserved rounds here, and finally bringing the Ying on the board from Shady, which I think is honestly a really good decision here, considering there's not really been a lot of Jaeger coming out from Vex, and there we go from Feral. He's picking up Valkyrie, which I did talk about earlier.
Yeah, Ying's a scary one. Ying is very devastating for that particular bomb site, that armory. Wonder if he's rocking the shotgun. I'm a big fan of the shotgun. I think it does a lot of work. It's a 2-shot kill in those close range scenarios.
I think
very good.
I think the shotgun is good, yeah, but the shotgun with the finger buff as well, you can just kind of get in there and just snipe people from across the map, but he's not actually going to be taking the Ying. He is going to be picking onto the KB, and we are going to see the Jaeger being brought here from Feral instead of the Valkyrie.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, correct decision, I would say, for those ADSs, especially whenever Barrage, they throw a lot of that utility. They have the flashbangs, they have the smoke grenades, they have the nades as well. A lot of good stuff that really the ADSs can work for. Vexed, I'm sure this will probably be a carbon copy of what they have done previously. Potentially change up their kind of positioning. I would say Doki, kind of take your foot off the pedal there just a little bit, bud, as you're getting a little bit too aggressive for my liking, I think, trying to take these early kills and these early fights. Same way that we said that, yeah, everybody knows how to play against Barrage. Everybody knows how to play against the Vexed this season. Just watch your window and watch the most common spawn peak that you could possibly think of, and Doki will probably be there.
Yeah, I'm still kind of confused about the Doc pick, and it obviously is about all that aggression coming up from Doki, but maybe at this point it's time to change strategy, time to try and bring someone with a utility. If he had gone Jaeger, which in itself has a lot of frag potential, then Feral could have gone Valkyrie, forced Rune Cliff and Barrage, and they could have wasted a lot more time.
So moving their way in, it will be that standard Valley take. I'm sure security will be the position that they want to try and secure. Trank off any rotations potentially from a very cheeky bandit trying to rotate his way in, using that cross. And then of course, knowing Barrage, that office push will be where they want to go. Once again, Shady, who was in this position last time over there in the ventilation unit, managed to get 2 kills from it as well, so you can never really say, oh yes, a bad position whenever he's there getting those kills. Of course, Blackbeard is more of a dominant factor for that standard window, but really any operator can make good use and really cut off any rotation inside of that B. Randy, TK on the Kizza. Wow, must have been a bad argument inside that TeamSpeak.
It's just a blood sacrifice. I mean, Ents do it all the time.
Yeah, praise the Vex. That's more what they're kind of looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
The blood factor.
Already the Thatcher going down though, that is, I mean, if you want a TK going down, that is not the person you want to get TK'd. Barrage play very utility heavy, so losing any operator this early is definitely going to affect their take. But yeah, already a 4v5, they go for the typical east stairs take, opening up triple wall, but you see Vex have already got stuff there to counter that. You already see Jesus' Echo Drone is in the officer's area to try and spot that out, and surely nades are going to come out from Rennie yet again. But the last time, he made a big mistake with this. He could have gotten a very early fountain kill. See Shady still holding down, still expecting this peak more than halfway into the round.
It's Vexed.
It is Vexed.
That's kind of what you're expecting. Finally, Doki using the stem pistols, and not himself anymore, but a great bit of utility, managing to picking up Jesus. That may be why they're bringing Doc. Still think because, just speaking to Doki, he believes that Doc is the best operator in the world. He stands by that fact, probably because he thinks he can be called Doki-san, and he's, you know, that kind of Doc god. I think we've made a couple of references before with what he's done with that French operator. Barrage, 50 seconds, no kill, so it has been much more of a slower round compared to last time, and this is where all the utility will be fired in. Jake's maybe trying to take a fight. Ah, wall bang on to Pi. Excellent start for Barrage. Jesus, whoever fires back, eliminates Randy, who again didn't get any kills with his frag grenades. Another kill for Jesus, easiest headshot of his life. Doki puts another one in the ground. And last one up will be Shady, who also falls to Feral. And well, Vex, they held their ground. Barrage this time just too slow after 2 rounds of essentially the exact same push. That one was much slower, and it just kind of gave Vex a little bit more of an oomph.
Yeah, very expected from Vex at the same time, but still themselves playing the same strategy they did last time with a very slight alteration at bringing the Jaeger this time, which is better, you know, they're bringing the Jaeger, they're doing a lot more with that, of course. And now moving into round number 5, it's going to be the final defense coming out from Vexed. And we are going to see the Vents Room and Workshop defense yet again. I'm hoping there's a 6-pick from Feral on the castle here.
It would make sense because it is that ventilation room and workshop. We've seen him do that in the previous rounds. And there you go, great prediction from yourself.
Well, yeah, I don't want to give myself all the credit. But
no,
we are
give yourself credit, that's what Prem's about, you know?
Okay, yeah, I'll give myself all the credit then.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We got him, boys, he has an ego, we got him.
We are going to see Kiza sit picking onto the Thatcher. So pretty much the same lineup coming out from both of these teams right now for Events Take. Yeah, last time, obviously, there was this pretty big disaster coming out from Barrage, but don't forget that was the first round. They're still finding their feet.
This is the final defensive round for Vex as well. So Barrage, of course, I've said, attacks has been where they've struggled with. I still believe that the playstyle and the mentality factor of their particular playstyle doesn't really work currently inside of this Premiership. Just looking at every other team, nobody plays as slow as Barrage. Potentially Wind and Rain, but they just can't attack in general, so that's kind of a bit of a given. But yeah, Barrage, I think that they will do a lot better in defense, but then equally, you're putting those fragging operators like Ash, like Buck, like IQ, in the hands of Vex, which also can be very deadly in the way that Vex play that very quick running gun playstyle. That can also be very deadly in the right hands.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about Vex's run and gun playstyle, but a lot of the time when they're peaking aggressively, they're still holding their areas. It's more of a lurk game rather than a roam game. A roamer kind of suggests that he's constantly moving around the map, whereas Vexed do play aggressively, they do play off-site, but they are still controlling those areas, and I'm expecting Jesus to still peek out aggressively from offices, but still hold it down.
He has the Echo, so that's kind of what you're expecting for most places is, you know, that Echo. He has that nice long-range compatibility. You can go for those peaks in towards the east airs. Of course, Doki also has the Echo. He just does a lot of work in general if it kind of has those long, narrow peaks, which can be challenging for players there like Jinx, who may not run the Echo. Of course, Kizza and Boogie and Shady all have the Echo. They can try and run and gun with it, but certainly the two fraggers, who is primarily, I would imagine, what, you know, what the players of Vexed are trying to look for is kill that main pushing power, which already Jinxed. He falls to Jesus, does just that. Even though the mirror window got opened, Jesus goes ahead and plays on the other side of it. Great bit of adaptability there from Vex, and they're holding ground as certainly Barrage have completely changed up their playstyle.
Yeah, Barrage are going to start to try and get this refrag into Jesus, still droning him out, and Jesus still not able to get that kill. Grenades are going to go out. Jesus still playing very aggressive around Fountain. Does see almost a beautiful flick, but Boogie will shut him down. That's a 4v4.
Boogie Bomb comes into great effect there. Oh, sorry, Twitch Dot isn't going to like me for that one. But still, nonetheless, Barrage, they got that kill that they needed. Of course, an Echo off the board is always going to be strong, but Zach fires back with a kill onto his own. Randy, he falls. So, a 1 minute 15 now onto the board, and Barrage are in the losing position. No main fragging potential coming in from Barrage. They've lost not just the Ashe, but also Buck being eliminated. Of course, Shady can do a lot of work with the Dokwe. He has the C7-5, but really, that has a very low ammo capacity. You can only really pick up 1 or potentially 2 kills if you're good. Shady sees the head of the mirror, but misses the shots. 50 seconds going into it, and Barrage are looking geared up for this final push. Zach goes for the C4. Shady eliminates from below. Kizza and Boogie now the Thatcher and Thermite combo, still a mirror window up. Wow, this has really been the hindrance, has been these mirror windows, and Boogie pushes in, but Zach will be there. And 30 seconds to go, and really what can Kizza do? Not a lot. Zach, excellent kills from him. I believe a 3K from the mirror. Good bit of work from Vex, and they take the lead going into the halftime switch.
Yeah, excellent plays coming out from Zach as well. Just still playing very aggressively, but again, still just holding down the upstairs area and recognizing they don't really have to get it up yet. Combining that with the fact that Vexed are playing quite heavily in pairs. Every time one of them die, they do switch it around.
So moving into it, we will see the first defensive round for Barrage. More of the preference pick is that top floor. Looking at the scores on the doors, 4 and 4 there for the Vex players, leading the kills. Jesus and Zach. Of course, we're kind of expecting Jesus to have that top frag, a very capable player. Looking at Barrage, of course, that guy Jinx style who we've talked about, but looking at it, some very even kills right across the board.
Yeah, some pretty even kills indeed. We'll see how it goes down as we move into the next half. I'm pretty sure that is the first time we've seen a smoke as well.
Yeah, Smoke's a very strong operator. I don't really think that it's more of the playstyle that I would say the players of Vex would kind of play. They like to have those more aggressive operators, you know. If Doki has a choice between Smoke or he has a choice between Doc, he's going to pick Doc in that scenario.
Yeah, sure. It definitely does represent quite well into the aggressive attitude coming out from them. We'll see how it does go down. We'll see how that translates into the attack, as Vex are going double entry here. In fact, you could even argue maybe even triple entry here, as they have got the IQ as well. Should be some good drone work, and I like the pick of Twitch here as well.
So Twitch, of course, is going to be mostly there just to get rid of those mirror windows, which has been so dominant, has been so prevalent over those past couple of rounds that we've seen Vex perform so big. It really did hinder the players of Barrage quite a hefty bit. This will be a bit of a change, as we will see Sophia for the first time, which Barrage didn't bring, which is always a bit of a worrisome for me, because I think Sophia brings you so much to the table, not only the soft breach, but the potential room clear out that you have with the concussion mines. That final push in with the concussion mines also helps a lot, and even getting rid of mirror windows if you want a concussion mine, run in, basically shoot the mirror in the head. It's the easiest kill of your life, because she's there, going to be disorientated. I'm really interested to see how he will do, and already the fracking potential coming in. Doki actually whips the shots. I believe Pi saves his life there in that scenario. One more inside of security falls as Feral will push in with the F2, almost picks up the double kill. But no, on very low health, and the C4 will finish the rest off. Randy, half HP, does not have that C4 anymore. Boogie trying to protect his bandit as much as he can. Doki picks up one for himself on the Kiza. A double for Doki, and already everything is falling apart for Barrage. 1 minute in, and 4 of them are dead, and only 1 remains. No, 0 remain as Doki. Free K for him. That is why you bring Sophia.
Yeah, great entry fragging builds coming out from Doki there, but overall pretty well done by Vexed. They moved very, very quickly. They realized that a lot of the setup still wasn't completed from Barrage. They were still trying to get around, trying to get walls up, and they execute fairly well into that. On top of that, great reactions from Pi to shut down the run out and just get CC control within the first 30 seconds of the round. So we'll see how it goes down as you do move into round number 7. We'll see an Armory Lockers yet again defense coming out from Barrage. As we said last time, this was very much against them because of the late setup coming through. And we are going to see pretty much the exact same lineup coming out from them.
So what will the players of Barrage do differently this time? I would say they're probably going to play a lot more safety on site because they know, oh, we got completely ruined on that kind of hold that they tried to go for. Sure, they did get a kill from it, but that was it. They had really nobody there for the refrags, which we've talked about time and time again. Nobody's ever there for refrags, which I don't understand. It should be basic rule number 1 in teamwork is make sure you're with your teammates. If somebody dies, you're there straight away. You know you're always going to have that advantage as that second man because potentially the attacker get 1 kill, he thinks, oh, he's fine, but then all of a sudden you come out of nowhere and that's an easy kill for you. So really, Barrage, they need to start looking at it and think, what can we do better as a team? Of course they have Ireland, who has only been here for, what, the span of 2 weeks. That's always going to be very struggling for Barrage, and especially whenever they've lost Willow this season, just due to he can't play because of work. He's always been a very big player for him as well. I think back to the very early weeks where he got so many nice 2Ks, so many nice 3Ks, and basically kind of salvage rounds for them, and that's kind of what they're missing, is that player who can clutch whenever he needs to be.
Yeah, clutch ability is a big one here, and as I kind of expected, they are going to go for that Archives take now. Vex taking control of East as well, probably going to open up triple and move them into the offices. And there's been a lot of investment from Barrage elsewhere. Feral will drone out onto Archives and sees what exactly the situation is here. Is he going to move all the way in? But Shady's drone is going to be there, but Doki is going to get the first kill of the round. There goes Jinx out again, going down immediately.
Kill for Boogie onto Feral. However, the refrag does come, but from a C4 from below. But then again, they have lost 1 person up top, so it does, yeah, you know, leave things. And the diffuser has been planted within the midst of that. The kind of run-and-gun playstyle that we said about Vex. Diffuser gets planted right inside of B bomb site, and this will be an immense retake that really Barrage have to do. Randy starts things off well, but 2 players still remain over on the east balcony. Kiza trying to see if he can peek. Excellent shot onto Zach. This could be clutchable. Diffuser has been planted. Boogie trying to have his fight against Doki and wins that. Down to Pi inside of a 1 versus 4. Diffuse will try and be established by Barrage. Pi will be there, but no, the long arm will be successful for Barrage, and Boogie will be there. Shady gets that final blow, and an excellent retake from Barrage, winning those 1 versus 1 gunfights after an incredible quick play from Vexed.
I'm really surprised at the lineup from Vex when they tried to do that. I mean, I understand going for an Archives take when you realize what kind of setup and what kind of playstyle Barrage are going for. So it was a good call from Feral to go and do that. But the lineup just wasn't supporting that at all. They didn't really have any smokes. They maybe should have brought a Capitao, especially because we did actually see the clash potentially coming out from Barrage there, even though they did pick onto the mirror because of that. Maybe they read into that because there wasn't a mirror in the lineup. They read that someone's going to be 6 clicks onto the mirror. But really, I still think that Capitao or a Montaigne would have been really good there to just hold down onto Archives after a post plan.
Yeah, they need some more smokes in my opinion. Sure, you're missing out on your glass, but you still have plenty of options there, like you said. Potentially, you know, bringing those Montagnes could help. Just stand there as that brick wall. Everybody else worries about that kind of east stairs, that single window area. You know that you're safe with Montagne standing there right in front of the doorway. So yeah, certainly a couple of different ways that Vex could have went about that. They still have that lead. They still have that safety net that, of course, does give them that little bit more leeway. Trying these different strategies can help them, you know, potentially get those kind of sneaky rounds in and kind of put them on that match point, which could have happened. It did look very scary there for Barrage at one stage, but then the quick 1v1 kills, and Finally, players stepping up whenever they need to be, managing to pull off a miraculous retake. And moving in Barrage, they will be going for this customs. This is one which I do worry for them, because I feel that they are very weak in the kind of way that they kind of defend from the actual bomb site. Sure, they have plenty of players upstairs, but I know for a fact that these players struggle if someone's in the bomb site. If someone manages to squirm their way in, they start to panic. They start to just drop hatches immediately, and then they just forfeit upstairs control, which is always a bit of a worry for me whenever teams see something go wrong. They think the strat's out the window, and they just go into rank mode.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that from Barrage as well in the attack, where they're trying to get quickly into the site when it's a top-heavy take.
And something goes wrong.
Maybe, that may be, you know, a team trying to play against itself there.
Looking at Vexed, all of them outside of that south side. That kind of screams that potentially we could have seen that quick rush in from Vex, but no, they have decided let's take it just that little bit slower. I'm sure Doki will try and get a couple of kills himself, potentially playing that lone slayer position, trying to see if he can sneak his way in. Claymore goes down just in case the quick jump out does happen. But looking at it, very slow from Vex at the moment. Still 2 minutes on the clock. I'm sure that Barrage will have enough utility, have enough setups ready for this potential quick jump in. Of course, this is where it will be expended by Zach, but no, will the tags come in, and will the players of Barrage be able to secure this retake strategy? Diffuser gets planted. There's holes upstairs for a reason to stop that from happening, Barrage, and this is where all of the defenders will have to recollapse. They have already done it once before inside of this matchup, but this time seems to be a different case. Feral and Zach both picking up a kill for themselves, and now he falls to Doki on the flank. And well, that will be all she wrote as Feral picks up the final blow onto Randy, and Barrage, they lose that round, and because of that, it puts Vex to match point.
I mean, that went pretty much the way that you expected it to go, that they quickly got into the site. They recognized there was an upstairs hold, but there wasn't really that many holes open.
It's as if I've never been here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But there's no echo as well from Barrage. There was not really anything for them to deny the plant on the site.
Echo's not that, I would say, dominant on this particular bomb site.
Well,
really,
I mean, if you're going to play top heavy and you're going to expect that they're going to get in there and try and plant quickly, you can deny the plant, you can waste about 40 seconds,
you can use holes above,
and then you can open holes above and go for it. But yeah, they didn't really do any of that. They didn't do either of those strategies. Maybe they should have held it instead from servers. Yeah, some big mistakes definitely coming out from Barrage there on that defense. But we'll go to another customs attempt.
I'm just confused because I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm 100% right. You can create a shotgun hole to look onto that window.
Yeah, no, you can.
Why has that not been done?
It is a question.
Like I said, Barrage should know. This is Vexed who tried these rush plants. They just tried one against you. They're probably going to do it again because they don't have any strategies. They just see a potential weakness, which, to be fair, they picked out a great weakness inside of that defense, and they take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, even then, if you're not going to play it like that, you can open the top of that, the wall at the bottom of metal, just where Shady's standing now, and you can actually shoot whoever's planting there right from the top of metal stairs. So you could still get an angle either way, but yeah, neither of those things were accomplished. I'm hoping that Barrage are doing something a little bit smarter here with that, but at the moment, it doesn't look like they're really going for that.
5 seconds left.
So they're basically going to set up the exact same way, but this time I'm sure they will open up these holes to try and deny that plant. Knowing Vexed, they will probably try that again, because it is Vexed. How has this become a phrase inside of Premiership? Oh, that's a Vex thing to do.
It's a Vex thing to do. I mean, it's a very, I don't want to say ranked play style, but a very aggressive.
It's a Vex factor,
it's
bro.
It's a Vex factor, yeah.
The Vex factor.
The Vex factor.
Oh, I'm
we'll
good
call
tonight.
it that.
I'm
Yeah,
good
that's good. That's good. I like that one. So yeah, we will see how the Vex factor plays out, and there we go. Doki already gets in with a 30 seconds. Jinxed out yet again, going down immediately.
So, looking at that, great bit of gun skill coming in from Vex. Barrage already one player off the board, and it has been jinxed. He has died a lot on the first kill for his team, which is always a worrisome. That's going to be like, you know, your kind of main fragger, the kind of main guy who would get these kills and kind of go off on one, get the 2Ks, get the 3Ks rolling in. Looking at Vexed, once again, not trying to attack that top floor entirely. That's going to be Pi just there, lurking inside of the corridors. That's going to be a great position to potentially catch somebody if they try and drop and rotate on in. Feral's with him as well. He has the breach charge, could potentially open up the castle barricade and just walk his way in towards that bomb site. Of course, there is people still upstairs, but they're actually getting pressured quite a bit by Jesus. Doki could potentially try and run his way in also, so this is looking pretty good for Vex. Zach there, ready for the plant. Thank you, production, for that. That's a good one. That's not even a bit of a joke.
Yeah, but don't forget there's also holes open on 90, so I don't think he actually really wants to get in there that way, but Zach will go for the surprise plant there in supply. Feral does take down Kiza. Feral with a double kill, that's down Rendy as well even. And we're going to be moving into a 5v2 post-plant situation. Vertical holes are open, but not really being used that well. Feral takes down Boogie, but gets taken down himself. A double kill for Shady. Now it's a 3v1. Turned it from a 5v1. Now it's all down to Shady to try and bring it in. Now he does see the drones, takes them down. Tries to see where exactly this diffuser has gone down. He's panicking, he's all over supply room. These very long angles being held all over from Vexed, and those drones everywhere. And there we go, Pi from Passport does take down Shady. Now it's Vexed. We take the map.
Yeah, fairly simple map for Vex in that scenario. Like we've said, they pick out all of the weaknesses and they take full advantage of that. That's really all you can say. They see Barrage, who are still one of the weaker sides. Sure, they're in playoffs, but they are one of those weaker teams that we have talked about in the regular season so many times.